Hello learners and viewers, welcome to Environmental Science course of Senior Secondary of NIOS, and this is NIOS Studio. We welcome you all. Learners, we know deforestation has changed the scenario resulting into large scale environmental problem. So today's program is based on deforestation, which is lesson number 9 of module 3, human impact on environment, and I am Nilam Gupta. Welcome you all this program. During this program, we are going to discuss about deforestation, which is cutting of down of trees, and the land is converted for human use. So we will discuss about forest and describe the shrinking of forest cover, various causes of deforestation, some examples of exploitation of human forest resources, biodiversity, its rapid decline and the consequences and contribution of deforestation towards soil erosion, flash flood and change in climate. We also discuss about the impact of deforestation on tribal communities. We will also discuss about what is desert, causes and effects of desertification and example of desertification in India too. So first we will talk about what is deforestation. In general, we refer deforestation to the loss of trees cover in a green or forest area. So approximately 1/3 of the Earth's total land area is covered by forest. Forests have rich flora and fauna that is evolved over millions of years ago, and forests are ecological as well as socio-economic resources. So when we define forest, so forest is a complex ecosystem consisting mainly of trees that supports a very large variety of living organisms. So when we divide forests, so we divide into natural forest as well as man-made forest. Natural forest composed of naturally grown indigenous trees, and man-made forest is known as plantation, and these consist of forests developed by human by growing trees. So we can classify forests on the basis of their nature and composition, type of climate and relationship with surrounding environment, and there are several factors that determines the types of forests, that is soil type, topography and elevation. So we know India has a large variety of vast varieties of forests. It can be rainforest of Kerala and northeast, deciduous forest in the plains, and mountain forest and alpine pastures of Ladakh. So now we move to the next, that is importance of forest. Forests have been important to man since early times, because we know primitive humans lived in forest. Early humans were forest developed and dependent on forest for their food, clothing and shelter. And even today, 1/3 of the world's population depends on trees and forests for their daily needs. Forests also provide habitat, food and protection for wildlife too, which includes a wide variety of plants, animals and microorganisms. And they are also renewable resources and provide a vast range of commodities like essential oils, medicinal plants, resins, terpene and many more things. Forests are the source of fuel wood and provide raw material for various industries like wood-based industries. Trees are the prime producer for the forest. They are the green lungs of the earth, as they generate large quantity of oxygen and utilize carbon dioxide, thereby purifying air. Forests are also natural cooling systems and slow down global warming. So forest benefits to mankind in various ways, like they protect watersheds from soil erosion. Forests are important source of timber, firewood and drugs too. They provide raw material for wood-based industries, keep rivers and reservoirs free from silt. Forests also facilitate recharging of groundwater, and they are also helped for cycling of carbon, water, nitrogen and other essential elements. So, forests are also important reservoir for genetic diversity. They play an important role in regulating Earth's climate. They also help to create jobs for approximately 30 million people around the globe, and they also provide an aesthetic environment. So, when we talk about the functions of the forest, so there are three major functions, that is productive function, protective functions and regulative functions. Productive functions includes forests produce various kinds of wood, fruit and wide range of compounds such as resins, alkaloids, essential oils, latex and pharmaceutical substances. Forests also protect many wild animals. So, they provide habitats for various organisms. They protect soil and water conservation. They prevent drought conditions too. They protect shelter. They give shelters against wind, cold, radiations, noise, sound, smell and sights. Regulative functions includes regulate absorptions, shortage and reduce of gases, especially carbon dioxide and oxygen, water, minerals, elements and radiant energy too. All such functions improve the atmospheric and temperature conditions of the earth. They also they also enhance the economic and environmental value of land. They also regulate floods and droughts and all biogeochemical cycles too. So, forests also benefit in two ways, or there are two important benefits are forests are first is timber and second is medicinal plants. So, we will talk about first timber. According to the 25% of all photosynthetic materials produced on earth and about half the total biomass produced by the forest. And India being a tropical country has abundant timber and hardwood resources. Trees are commercially exploited for timber in different parts of the India. When we talk about the timber, so there are so many timber based industries, which includes sawmilling, paper and pulp industry, plywood manufacture industry, composite wood, particle boards, furniture, man-made fibers, sports goods and match boxes. When we will talk about the medicinal plants, so we know more than 40% of the drugs which is provided by the plants and animals, that is extract active ingredients for. They account for about $40 billion worldwide sale annually, and more than 5,000 species of angiosperms of flowering plants have been analyzed by scientists for the presence of valuable drugs. So, we will talk about a few drug yielding plants. First is Cinchona officinalis. Tree bark yields quinine used for treatment for malaria. Digitalis or foxglove plant extracts are used to treat chronic heart diseases. Opium or poppy, Papaver somniferum, yields morphine and cocaine used to reduce pain. Texas brevifolia yields Taxol, which is used in chemotherapy. Bark of the tropical willow tree or Salix species yields salicin, a precursor of aspirin, a very widely used pain relieving drug. And hundreds of life-saving antibiotics are also obtained from plants as well as other animals and other organisms too. Example, penicillin, which is obtained from a fungal mold. Now we come to the deforestation. We already said for deforestation means cutting of the forest or losing of forest cover. So, deforestation refers to excessive loss of tree cover, and it also be defined it may be defined as removal or damage of vegetation in a forest to the extent that it no longer supports its natural flora and fauna. Due to this, forest land is permanently converted to non-forest land and used for agriculture and human settlements. It often gets converted to desert. Rapid growth of deforestation in the tropics is also caused to recent flood disasters. So, deforestation involves many human activities, or we can say deforestation is based on the basically based on the excessive human activities. Some are showing in this slide: cutting or felling of trees, repeated looping, removal of forest litter, browsing, grazing and trampling of seedling. Now we will talk about the forest cover. Forest cover of the world at the beginning of the 20th century was about 70 billion hectares. By 1950, it was reduced to about 4.8 billion hectares. Accordingly, by 2080, it will reduce to only 2.35 billion hectares. A study by United Nations Environmental Program showed that about 7.3 million hectares of rich tropical forests are lost every year, and 14 hectares of closed forests are lost every minute. In India, total forest cover in 2001 was 6,75,538 square kilometer, while in 2019 it was 7,12,249 square kilometer. Forest cover and tree cover, total forest and tree cover in the country is 8,27,356.95 kilometers square, which is 25.17% of the geographical area of the country. And total forest cover has an area of 7,15,342.61 square. It means 21.75%, whereas the tree cover has an area is 1,12,014.34 kilometer square, that is 3.41%. So, there is major drives initiated by Government of India to increase the forest cover in India. One is Van Mahotsav, an annual festival of tree planting was started by the Government of India in 1950. It was first implemented in Gujarat. In the 1970s, lots of emphasis was given to the conservation of India's forests and wildlife. Large-scale tree planting was done along roadsides, canals and railway lines too. India was one of the first country in the world to have introduced a social forestry program to increase its forest cover. Chipko movement, we all know, was a forest conservation movement which began in 1973 in Uttarakhand at the foothills. Now, previously it was in UP, but now it is in UK, Uttarakhand, at the foothills of the Himalayas. According to the National Forest Policy, the desirable forest cover of the country should be 33% as against 22.7% as shown in the survey of the early 70s. However, in the date of 2023 reports, data of the 2023 report, the forest cover is 21.76% of the total geographical area of the country, and this is shown in this slide. We can classify area forest cover and tree cover. Total forest and tree cover is 25.17, shrub, non-forest and geographical area of the country. This is the area which is covered by the tree and forest, and what are the percentage of this area. So, there are several reasons why we lost forest or we face deforestation. So, extent of forest loss in India, being an agricultural country in India, is losing is forest cover steadily because of several reasons. One is agricultural purposes, second cattle grazing, next sowing of plantation crops like tea and coffee. So there are several reasons also for deforestation in India. There are when we get independence, so rapid developmental work took place soon. This led to rapid decline in forest cover, and this is mainly due to building of roads through forest tract, building of canals, development of townships, increase in the exploitation of forest wealth. So we can more clarify due to the cause in the form of causes of deforestation, like agriculture and pasture, shifting cultivation, demand for firewood, demand of wood and for industries and commercial purposes, urbanization and development projects, and other causes too. So first we will discuss little bit about all these factors. First we will talk about agriculture. Main cause of deforestation is expanding agriculture. Man or humans modifies the ecosystem to suit his needs. As demand for agricultural products rises more, the land is brought about under cultivation, for which forest land is cleared. Marshes and land under water are also reclaimed. These activities causes ecological destruction rather than gain in terms of crop yield. Continued agriculture over long period of time exhausts nutrients in the soil and render this forest land unfit for cultivation, and there is large scale soil erosion and degradation. In early times, humans practiced hunting and food gathering. Use of tools was limited and level of mechanization was low. Second is causes shifting cultivation. It is also known as slash and burn agriculture or jhum cultivation. This method of farming was practiced by local cultivators as early as 12,000 years ago. It was the first step towards transition from food collections to food production. In shifting cultivation, about 5 lakh hectare forest land is cleared and utilized for farming for 2 to 3 years until it became infertile. While this land is left to recover, a new area is cleared and the process is repeated. Today, jhum cultivation is practiced in the state of Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura and Andaman and Nicobar Island. Third reason is cause is demand for firewood. We all know wood is used as a source of energy for cooking. Almost 40% of the wood produced globally to fulfill the fuel requirement of the world. Developed countries utilize 16% of this for the fuel requirement, and India consumes about approximately 135 to 170 million tons of firewood annually. So almost 10 to 15 hectare of forest cover is being stripped off to meet the fuel needs of the urban and rural people who are. Next cause for deforestation is wood for industries. The most versatile forest produces, we know, that is wood, and almost 1.2 lakh hectare of forest have been cut for wood for industrial purposes like furniture, plywood, matches, wooden boxes, paper and pulp industry. The paper industry accounts for 2% of the total country's consumption of annual wood. 50% of this comes from bamboo wood, leading to depletion of bamboo stocks. The apple industry in the Himalaya region has led to destruction of fir or abacis trees and other trees of this region. Wood of the fir trees is used for making wooden boxes for transporting apples. Plywood crates are used for packaging tea and other produce. Next cause is urbanization and developmental projects. We know we cut forests to make buildings, infrastructure to lead to procure urbanization, and urbanization leads to large scale deforestation. Building of infrastructure in the form of road, railways, line, dams, township, electric supply, and many other things. Thermal power plant, mining for coal, metal, ores and minerals are also causes for deforestation. We can take one example, that is Tehri Power Project is a 260.5 meter high earth and rock fill dam near the Tehri town in Garbal, Himalaya. It is situated a little downstream at the junction of Bhagirathi and Bhilganga rivers. Approximately 46,000 hectares of forest land will be submerged underwater. It will displace about 3,500 families and cause immense destruction to flora and fauna of this area. Next, there are some other causes for deforestation too. Development worldwide has caused large scale environmental degradation, especially in the tropical forest areas. These forests are endowed by large amount of resources, that is living and non-living both. So this attracts both industry and other developmental agencies, causing irreparable damage to forest, and forests also suffer from natural calamities like overgrazing, floods, forest fire, disease and termites. Now we come to the next section, that is forest and tribal society. About 4% of the world's population live in special territories. In India, tribal constitute 7% of the population, and they live in 450 communities of different sizes and have claim on a particular place. Tribals have cultural, spiritual and economic ties with the particular areas, and therefore they protect the biodiversity of their areas and the local culture too. They possess the knowledge and resource management skills to manage and sustain that area. Their knowledge of agriculture practices is ecologically sound, and it has been passed from generation to generation for centuries. They know how to grow different kinds of crops simultaneously on the same plot of several years in a row. These plots are then left to recover for several years to grow back into forest, so after which they are ready to begin a new cycle. Now we move to the consequences of deforestation. Deforestation affects the physical and biological component of the environment in several ways, like soil erosion and flash floods, climatic change, loss of biodiversity. First we will talk about soil erosion and flash flood. Soil erosion occurs due to shrinking forest cover and exploitation of groundwater, and it's very severe along the slopes of the lower Himalayas and Aravalli hills, making the areas prone to landslides. Destruction of forests leads to altered rainfall pattern, which often result in floods. We can take example of 1978 flood. India suffers this is one of the worst flooding in its Indian history. It rained heavily for 2 days, causing inundation of 66,000 villages, 2,000 people drowned and 40,000 cattle were swept away. In 2009, we also experienced Bihar flood. Bihar suffers the worst flood in the river Kosi. Several lives were lost and a large number of cattle were swept away. Many incidences of flooding are occurring in recent years globally every year, and this is a reason for why this has happened. Lack of forest cover. This resulted in water flowing off the ground, washing away the topsoil. Topsoil is deposited as silt in the river beds. Forests therefore check soil erosion and landslides and reduces the intensity of floods and drought. India occupies only 2.4% of the land area of the world, but the loss of topsoil is 18.5% of the global soil loss. We will take a little break. After this, we will continue this discussion.
प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर। शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। स्वयं बने, हम
Before taking a break, we were talking about what is forest, different type of forest, a classification of forest, and then we move to the deforestation. What is deforestation, and causes of the deforestation. We will also discuss about forest and tribal society, which help to procure forest, and before taking a break, we are discussing about the consequences of deforestation. So first we will talk about the soil erosion and flash flood, and second cause is climate change. We know forest plays an important role in climate control in the form of forests increase local precipitation and improve water holding capacity. They also regulate water cycle. They maintain soil fertility by returning nutrients to the soil through leaf fall and decomposition of litter. Forest plays an important role in climate control by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and releasing oxygen into the air, which we breathe, and they help in balancing the level of the carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. And forests also act as buffers by regulating climate and atmospheric humidity. So if there are forests, they help in various modes, but in case if there is no forest or deforestation, so deforestation causes heat buildup in the atmosphere, leading to the greenhouse effect. Himalayan ecosystem has been adversely affected due to thinning of the snow line and drying up the perennial springs. Annual rainfall are also declined by 3 to 4%. Chronic droughts are occurring and frequent even areas like Tamil Nadu and Himachal Pradesh. So third consequence is biodiversity. We know biodiversity includes all different types of life forms, and it also refers to the total number of different species within a particular area or specific habitat or in the world. It also includes the number of genetic strains within the species and the number of different ecosystems in an area. And it is not static but changes from time to time due to extinction of some species or evolution of new species. Till date, about 1.4 billion species have been identified. Currently, 10 to 100 million species are estimated to be inhabiting the earth. Preservation of biodiversity is a matter of great concern because it provides a variety of products for human use and welfare, and it is an important resource for agriculture, medicine and industries. So there are so many causes of biodiversity loss: hunting, poaching and commercial exploitation, elimination and disturbance of wildlife habitats, selective destruction of habitat and life forms, domestication, introduction of new alien species in the new area which threaten the indigenous or native species, use of pesticides also one of the major cause of biodiversity loss, and waste, medical research and use. So there are several species due to the biodiversity loss or deforestation. There are species we have lost, and this is known as extinct species. A species become extinct when no living member of that family species exists, and large number of the species have become extinct over the years. And industrialization is a major cause that has increased the rate of extinction to a great extent, and extinct species exist only in museums and photographs. Among the living species today, a large number of them are threatened. So several plants and animals are on the verge of extinction, or we can say their existence is threatened, although the threat of extinction varies. So there are IUCN, International Union of Conservation of Nature, has put these threatened species into 4 categories, which is known as endangered, rare, depleted and intermediate. So we will take few examples in what is known as in how we can specify or define. First, we will take endangered species. A species is considered endangered when its number are very few, its homeland is small, it does not receive special protection, and such a species sooner or later become extinct. An example we can take lion-tailed macaw salinus from the rainforest and sholas of South India. Second type is rare species, and are said to be rare when number of such species are few, they live in small areas or unusual environment. These species quickly become extinct. The great Indian bustard, Ariostoceras nigris ceps. Third category is depleted species. A species is considered depleted when their numbers are greatly reduced from those of the recent past and they are continuing to decrease. The continued decrease is a cause of concern as they quickly acquire the rare or endangered category. Example is clouded leopard Neophelis nebulosa, whose fur was sold illegally in Kashmiri markets. Next category is intermediate species. Species are considered intermediate when true information regarding their status is not known and is facing extinction. The snow leopard Panthera ansea was categorized as intermediate and was declared endangered in 1970 due to extensive hunting for its fur. So, over the past 2000 years, more than 600 species of animals have become extinct and are going to become extinct. About 3000 species of plants need to be conserved. So, why we lost wildlife? There are several factors. Shrinkage of green cover destabilizes the ecosystem, and poaching causes depletion of wildlife. And there are several examples. In Africa, 94% of the black rhino population have been exterminated by poachers for their horns. 1/3 of their elephants have been wiped out for ivory. In South America, the scarlet macaw, which was once very common throughout the country, has been eliminated from most of its range in central part of South America. Several species of spotted cats such as ocelot and jaguar of southern US, Mexico, Central and South America are in danger of extinction due to demand of their fur. There are several wildlife has already been lost in India also. India has more than 45,000 species of plants and 75,000 species of animals. Out of the 36 biodiversity spots in the world, India has 4 biodiversity spots. These vast biodiversity needs to be preserved for maintaining the stability of the ecosystem. Deforestation and desertification are the major cause that has destroyed their natural treasure to a great extent. And there are several examples of India also, wildlife losses in India. The elephant population is fast diminishing. Earlier they were found all over the country, but now have now disappeared from the state of Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Asiatic lion, once very common in Asia, is restricted to a few hundred square kilometers of Gir forest in Gujarat. Cheetah is already extinct. In the last 100 years, 4 species of mammals became extinct, around 40 species of mammals, 20 species of birds and 12 species of reptiles are in the highly endangered list. Now we move to the next section, that is land degradation. So there are several causes and extent and causes of land degradation in the world. 580 million hectares land degradation due to deforestation. Vast reserve of forests have been degraded by large scale looping, clearance of farm and urban use, food production. 600 million hectare lost million hectare land degraded by overgrazing, that is caused about 20% of the world pasture and land range. Then